Well, the flag is just one of several issues coming before lawmakers this session.
You know, to talk about what we can expect, we're joined by Bobby Harrison. He covers the state capitol for Mississippi today, and he joins us now via Zoom. Hi, Bobby. How are you today?
All right. How are y'all doing?
We're doing very
great.
well.
Bobby, the flag vote was the one substantial item today. Passage was pretty much expected. What are we seeing as far as COVID-19 precautions in the Capitol? And there's talk about how long this session is going to go on. What can you say about that and your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it appears right now they're really trying to take as many safety precautions as they can, especially after last summer when they had the big outbreak where about 40 or 50 legislators and staff caught the coronavirus. At that time, they were not being as safe as they probably should have been, but just about everybody I saw this today at the state capitol was wearing a mask, and the few that were not they were the exception. And then they're also taking other precautions. The Senate, for instance, will have two committee rooms set up with cameras in them where they will stream their committee meetings and try to limit the number of people actually attending those committee meetings and just allow people to watch it via stream if they so choose. So hopefully we'll not have the outbreak we had last summer. Of course, you know, I guess a lot of legislators, including the Speaker and Lieutenant Governor, have the antibodies right now because they caught it last summer. So hopefully we won't have that. We won't have that to happen again this year. And to follow up further, Lieutenant Governor Hoseman has talked about maybe coming in for a few days and break until later this in March or sometime, maybe when there's more people who've been vaccinated, to try to limit the possibility of people contracting the coronavirus. But the House does not seem to be interested in breaking at this point in time. So I guess the session will go on as scheduled hopefully, though, it might be a little shorter than the 90 days that it is set for.
Yeah. Bobby, of course, we got the flag issue. That's already out of the way, and dealt with medical marijuana.
Well, almost out of the way.
Well, almost out of the way, yeah. Medical marijuana. So, and I'm thinking, well, gosh, what other issues do we have? That was the big. What are we looking at this year? What are the issues?
Well, I think a couple of big ones, I think, Walt, is that, you know, in December or November, I can't remember which, the governor proposed phasing out the state income tax, which would be a pretty big ask of the legislature. But there seems to be some interest, especially on the House side, of doing that. The House leadership has talked about in the past phasing out the state income tax. And so that would be a huge issue if they do choose to take that up, because the state income tax generates about 1/3 of the state general fund revenue. And you know, if it's phased out, it'll be done over several years, but still that will have the impact on the revenue for state government. And a lot of people think that, you know, in a state like Mississippi, where there's so many needs, now's not the time to be reducing taxes, especially reducing 1/3 of the state revenue stream. So we'll see how that goes. And the other big issue, kind of ironically, while they're talking about reducing revenue, they're also talking about giving teachers a pay raise, which of course is costly. And some people would argue as well past due. So I think those two issues would be the two big ones, the income tax and the teacher pay raise.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds good. Bobby Harrison with Mississippi Today. Thank you so much for being with us.
You bet.
Thank you, Bobby. We'll be back in touch, I'm sure, during the regular rest of the session.